Okay, I think it's recording, so we go. Hi everyone, I'm delighted to be joined by Claire Bedford, who is our BMS link missionary, who's going to share with us a little bit more about who she is and what she's doing. So thank you, Claire, for taking the time to come and join us.
No worries, thanks very much for having me, Andy.
Now, Claire and I, we've known each other for 13, 14 years. Claire is one of Beck's, my wife's best friends, and Claire was a bridesmaid at our wedding. So we know each other really well. But for those of you who don't know Claire particularly well, Claire, can you share with us 3 things about yourself to give people listening an idea of who Claire Bedford is?
Yeah, okay. So one thing is I grew up in North Devon. I'm a pharmacist and I actually did my training at the University of Bath. So Bath is very dear to my heart, having spent 4 years there as a student. And now I would call home Torquay, which is where I met Andy's wife Bex originally, all those years ago. So yeah, I am a Devon girl, really, kind of defected to the south of the county. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Oh, fantastic, thank you. And so you're a BMS missionary. How long have you been a missionary, and where are you a missionary?
So yeah, I've been a long-term mission worker with BMS for coming up 5 years, time flies, and I work at Guinea Boar 2 Hospital in Chad, which is in Central Africa.
Okay, cool. And you kind of alluded to this in what you shared before. So you've not always obviously been a mission worker. What did you do before that?
Yeah, so I was a pharmacist in the NHS, so I had various roles in the NHS. After I left uni in Bath, I moved to Torquay and yeah, had various jobs in hospital down there and also in GP practices. So always with a pharmaceutical background to my work, but yeah, very much in the NHS.
Okay. And does that feel like another life ago now, or is it kind of similarities obviously all the way through and just a different setting? Or
oh yeah, it feels a lifetime ago. Yeah, it does. It's very different. So the only thing that stayed the same are the names of the medicines. They've stayed the same, but the healthcare setting, yeah, completely different. So yeah, the NHS life does feel a while ago now. Yeah.
For people who don't know what a missionary or mission worker is, or what they do, what is a mission worker, and what do you do?
Yeah, so I guess I can be classed as an overseas mission worker, overseas missionary. So basically, we feel called by God to go overseas and kind of live out our Christian faith in an overseas context. A lot of the time in communities that know very little about Jesus, to try and demonstrate our faith and proclaim Jesus and to people who haven't ever heard of him before.
Okay, that's awesome. And I guess that there are some really challenging bits to that and some really exciting parts of that as well. What are some of the best bits of what you do and some of the most challenging bits?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Best bits are just meeting people from so many different cultures and backgrounds. It's a real eye-opener. So obviously I'm living and working in a culture that's completely different to the UK, but there are a lot of other foreign workers in Chad as well who are from different countries, so you get to kind of interact with people from other European countries, from America, Canada, Australia, so yeah, as well as in my case Chadians obviously. So yeah, it just gives you a wider view of the world and different people's perspective on things, and yeah, definitely broadens your horizons. So yeah, I'd say that is probably one of the best bits of working overseas. Challenges probably come from that as well, because working and living and working in a culture that is not your own, I often describe it as trying to be like a round peg fitting in a square hole. So you don't quite fit. Things are done slightly differently, and at the beginning of life in another country. That's quite exciting, and you're like, oh wow, they do it like that and not like this. But over time, that gets quite challenging, and it does, you kind of yearn for what you deem as normality, which is only normal because that's what you've kind of grown up with. Doesn't necessarily mean it's right, and they're wrong. I think the challenges come out of what is also the exciting part of the work.
Yeah. Awesome. In terms of supporting you, how can we support you sort of as a person, but also support you in the work that you're doing over in Chad?
Yeah, thanks. For me as a person, I really love hearing from people. So, I get people emailing me who I've never met, who just say, oh, we're just thinking of you today, or just wanted to say hi. So that's great, to be reminded that I'm not forgotten, even though I'm not in the country. And prayer, do not underestimate the power of prayer. I'm the kind of face of the mission work that I do. I'm the one whose pictures on the prayer card and faces on the website and all of that. But I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the prayers of my sending church in Torquay, but also all my other supporting churches, the network of Baptist churches that are around me, praying. And I can 100% vouch, if that's the right word, for the power of prayer, and I wouldn't be able to stay out there and do what I do if it wasn't for people praying for me and supporting me in that way. So most definitely prayer, please.
Fantastic, definitely. And for kind of just to finish with, for those people who are kind of watching this and thinking, well, maybe I'm an older person or what have you, I don't feel that I'm called to or can go overseas. What would you say to them in terms of maybe missional stuff that they can do where they are in the places where God has put them?
Yeah, sure. So I kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier on, that I'm an overseas mission worker, but all Christians are called to be mission workers or missionaries, wherever they are. Some of us are called to go abroad. A lot of us aren't, for various reasons, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing that you can do. The world is on our doorstep in the UK here now, with the mass migration that we're seeing. There are people from loads of different cultures and countries in the UK. So there's loads that you can be doing here from your own home where you are based now. And then, we can't forget there are loads of British people that need Jesus too. There's got to be loads of people around you, neighbours, friends, family, who you can be reaching out to in different ways to demonstrate your faith and the love of Jesus towards them. So we're not all called to up sticks and leave like I have.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share with us. And you're going to be sharing with us, obviously in a different format, but in our service on Sunday. And we really look forward to that as well. So thanks for taking the time to come and share with us.
You're welcome. Thanks very much, everyone. Thanks for watching.